Oh, tonight, what am I saying, guys? Equinunk, Upper Seniors 2020. We have your Zoom at 6 o'clock tonight. Blue Ridge PCs, your PC Zoom is tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. All right, so remember that. Upper Seniors tonight at 6. Blue Ridge tomorrow at 6. Here it is, Path to Rhythm. All right, guys, let's bring on Adam. Let's do this. Where's the right there? Here we go. Here we go. Waiting for Path to Rhythm. I think we have Adam joining us in just a moment.
Yeah.
There he is. Yo, what's up, Adam?
A-bomb. A squared.
That's it, man. The two of us, dude. The music
Yeah.
world, the drumming world, getting it done.
Yeah.
Adam, thank you. Thank you so much for joining Equinunk
You're
Blue
welcome.
Ridge for what we call our evening lineup. Because normally at Equinunk and Blue Ridge, 5:45, 6 in this time frame, we're gathering around the flagpole. We're talking about the activities from the day, giving sports reports, the different scores from the activities, talking about our evening activity. Folks roll on board. I think this is terrific. So thank you for bringing the groove. Thanks for bringing the spirit. There's a great sort of musician, Bootsy Collins, right? This guy, Bootsy Collins, he was a funk and he was a jazz musician. And his whole thing was you got to bring the funk to get some funk. And
Okay.
Adam, you clearly brought the funk. So we're going to invoke a little Bootsy Collins right now. And we're going to turn this over to you.
Cool. Love it.
Love
it. So I'm playing my djembe drum right now. Can you see it, Adam?
Yes.
Cool. So I'm gonna play. You mentioned some funk, so I'm just gonna play a little beats for you, and let's see if we can get some of those likes and thumbs up floating through the screen.
Yeah, good stuff. Nice, Adam. Sounding good. All right, good stuff, man. Hey, you know, Adam, music is so important at Equinunk and Blue Ridge, and there are a lot of alumni who have gone to Tulane or really sort of our big patrons of New Orleans, the Radiators, Galactic, the whole music scene down there. So you playing some of those funk rhythms, man, it drives it home for a lot of us. And just joining us, Equinunk head counselor Gil Kreis is on. Richie and Cheryl Kamen. What's up, Mom and Dad? Welcome to a little Instagram Live evening lineup with Adam and Adam. Adam, could you share with us a little bit of sort of the tunes and the beats that you were laying down?
Yeah, so you know, the reason I play this drum, djembe drum, right? So the reason I love this drum, it's made in Africa, in West Africa, in Guinea. And the reason I bring djembes to camp is I feel like it's the easiest way for people to just start to express their rhythm, right? Because in Africa, drumming is communal and it's used for so many different celebrations. Having gone to summer camp myself for years, my parents worked at camp, so I was like, you know, basically born at summer camp. I think you know what that's about. So for me, it was like I wanted to be able to create a program that I wished I had when I was a kid in camp. So that's why I love bringing djembe drums into camp, because I feel like it's just an easy way for people to start playing and expressing their rhythm.
That's awesome. That's so cool. What a great drum. You know, you talk about the community aspect of drumming and how important that is. When you and your team come up to camp, and I remember you guys were sitting in the Gaga pit at Equinunk, and then over at Blue Ridge, we had these great drum circles. When you're up there with the kids, what is it you're trying to sort of invoke? What is that? And we actually have a bunch of our new campers, our new Equinunk and Blue Ridge girls and guys who are on with us. Can you share with them a little bit that goes on during your sessions up in camp and what that look and feels like?
Yeah, definitely. So, you know, it's first of all, it looks awesome when you walk in to the, remind me of the name of that building. We were set up on Girls Side. I call it the Rec Hall, but
I think you were in the social hall at Blue Ridge.
All right, the social hall. Yeah.
Hey, Blue Ridge, help me out. Girls, shoot me a message down there. Is that correct? I see a lot of hearts. Must have been the Blue Ridge social hall.
Yeah,
All
the
right,
social hall.
on.
So, you know, it's a beautiful building and you got the wood floors and then you see the wood the wood drums, and we bring 50 drums. So we're working with divisions or part of entire divisions. And in addition to it being about rhythm and music making, we're really just raising camp spirit, you know? So I always like to say it's like part drumming, part, you know, part like color color war, and, you
Yeah.
know, part like first day of camp spirit, you know, to get everybody psyched for camp.
Yeah.
And it's really, it's about working together and just creating something that's unique to camp and to the division. And sometimes we'll do bunk shout outs, different things like that.
That's really special. You know, Adam, in camp we have this great program called GleeBR, and GleeBR is we got 100 musicians and singers, campers, counselors who are up there. It is a really cool way for us to infuse music in camp. I'm thinking, is there sort of that opportunity to bring like djembe and other drums and sort of like build up the drum accompaniment of some of the songs that we're doing in camp with GleeBR?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like you'll see, I encourage people even at home just to start tapping, like anything that you do on your desk or just any rhythm that you feel, you know, it's kind of like, and all rhythm to me has like a strong and a weak beat or a low and a high, right? So
Okay.
on my drum, the low is here, the high is here. So it's two distinct sounds, right? So we all know that one, the We Will Rock You. Yeah, if you're at home, maybe do this on your desk.
Yep.
Maybe do it on your brother or sister's head. No, don't do that. We've all been in the house a little too long. So you get this on, and that's that low, low, high, right?
Right.
Um, so you know, anything that has rhythm is going to have those two components, the low and the high. I could beatbox it.
Wow.
Can you hear me all right in there?
Yeah, yeah, it sounds
That's
great.
great.
That's
All
really,
right,
really
good.
cool. I know Bunk 9 is listening, man. Bunk 9 is psyched right now. They're out
Bunk
there. And,
nine.
yeah, Bunk Nine's got the shout out. I found my drumsticks from upstairs, man. So I was like, oh, you're doing that. I'm tapping along a little bit. It's
Yeah,
good
yeah, yeah,
stuff.
yeah. I got the little, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Hopefully I won't break anything, but yeah, I'm with you. I think I still got it. It's been a while.
So, you know, like for the campers that are watching, and staff, and let me see if I can get my drum set in the picture there. I don't know if I can show it, but it's the same thing with the low and the high. So it's got, you know, the bass drum is the low, snare drum's the high.
Right, right. That's terrific.
Same kind of thing, low and high.
Sounding great. Hey, Adam, you know, Bunk 32 at Equinunk and Bunk 2 at Blue Ridge, man, they're digging that. They're throwing some hearts your way right now.
So
So
what did I hear you say? 96 was your year?
yeah,
In
90.
32?
Yes, that's correct. 1996, I was an upper senior at this camp, at Camp Equinunk,
Oh yeah.
and Bunk 32 was where I resided. That's right. Those are my boys.
Wow. Yeah, some legacy there.
Yeah, it's been a while. been a while for sure, for sure. Hey, so what are some of your go-to grooves, man? What do you on the djembe? What do you like playing? What sort of like brings some funk? What brings some soul into you when you get that time?
Yeah, I mean, for me, like I've been playing drums my whole life, and lately I consider myself a student of West African music because that's for me the most challenging.
Oh,
And it's challenging, number one, to get the proper sound out of the drum, you know, because it's hands and fingers and different tones, and
mhm.
that can take a lifetime to develop. So for me, I get a lot of joy out of digging into that kind of tradition that's been made a little bit more available to the West in the United States.
Mm.
Just by the internet and recordings and all that stuff. And then a lot of my go-to stuff is like, you know, stuff that you were talking about. And I love all kinds of music, you know. So,
Right, right.
I mean, I grew up listening to hip hop and everything. So my advice to people that are listening is just be open-minded, which I think most of you are, you know, because you're exposed to so much. So just try to be open-minded and non-judgmental. And I mean, really, that's it's like camp, you know, just like listen to what other people are listening to and expose yourself.
So spot on. You know, so one of our Equinunk guys, Jason Falk, who's out there, he writes, hey, I want to hear some jazz, right? So you talk about broadening those musical horizons a little bit.
Yeah.
What does that sound like? I mean, is that, does jazz even sort of like accompany the djembe drums, or do we think of that more of a traditional kit?
No, we're all right.
Like brass band, right?
Yeah, I got my kit here. So, you know, what I'll do is I'll break out, these are called brushes.
Oh, cool.
So he wants some jazz. Let me make sure. Can you see my set, Adam? Can you see the?
Yeah, I got you in your snare. I guess I got your snare and your stool pretty much. Yep, there we go. I got the full snare in.
You know, so with the brushes, that gets this kind of sound. A little bit of a softer sound.
Nice. There we go. You got like a New Orleans second line going right now, man. Thinking going down like Mardi Gras parade style. Sounds pretty good. That's pretty awesome. Got the Preservation Jazz Hall Band. This is last summer. They were on tour with the Dave Matthews Band, right? So they opened up, they did a whole amazing jazz set, and then on a bunch of the Dave Matthews tunes, they actually sat in with the band, man, and they had a full-piece marching band, their white tuxedos. It was incredible. That kind of style of music is so popular still. It's great for our kids to hear that.
I mean, I love kicking it with you because, you know, someone requested jazz, and you could see the connection. If you're going to mention jazz, you have to mention New Orleans, right? So it's the same thing, and you tagged it. That's exactly that feeling of the parades in New Orleans, and it's called the second line, right? And then from there, you can trace the history of jazz, and then blues and rock and roll, and all music kind of, you know, from the West came through New Orleans.
Yeah, yes, it did. You know, hey, you were what are some of the musical groups? Like you talking about some hip hop and stuff. What do you listen to? When you throw on the radio or you're on Spotify? What are some of your go-to stations? Yeah, Nikki's doing a shout out for New Orleans. She's a Tulane gal herself.
Oh, good.
What are some of those stations? Like, what do you listen to what gets you going?
I mean, it depends on the mood, you know, it really does. It's like I associate music a lot of times for me with moods, and also just how I'm feeling in my day and what I need and what I want out of it, you know. So it's like if we're coming in to camp and getting ready to be in the social hall, like we'll listen to Ariana Grande, you know. It's like whatever I need to kind of inspire me and get me in the right frame of mind. I love like old school hip hop, you know, Tribe Called Quest and De La Soul and The Far Side and, you know, Jay Dilla and I, you know, anything that has like a really nice groove, I'm really into. And then lately, like new stuff, I like Billie Eilish. Yeah. So like I said, I'm just open-minded. You mentioned Dave Matthews Band, you know, that's one of my favorite drummers right there, you know.
Carter Beauford.
Yeah. What about you, Adam? What's on your playlist right now?
Yeah, Bruce is up there. I'll tell you what, though. Yesterday was a pretty late work session, and I had some Bach going. Had a little Beethoven throw in there, which was pretty awesome. So I went classical music way into the night. And it was actually pretty beautiful, pretty amazing. Some gorgeous sounds.
And so what was amazing about it? Is it the way that it made you feel, or helped you relax, or what'd you like about it?
Yeah. I would say all of it. The composition is so rich. The story that the music tells. How when you listen to the music, especially there's music with no words on it, right? Be it you know, jazz or some of the funk music that's out there, and of course, you know, going back to you know, sort of we've been pushing like Heiser and everyone before Beethoven when they're really developing this. It is so unbelievable to hear the emotion that comes through in music and the story that is told, even without the words. So yeah, I am big on music without words, and sort of get your inspiration and figure it out from there. That's what I like about it. And because my mind is not locked into the words, I can concentrate on sort of other things that I need to be doing. It's pretty cool. When I was a kid, I thought, oh, classical music, man, that stuff puts me to sleep. That's what our dad listened to on NPR in the car. But as I got a little bit older, and in part because of my appreciation for music in New Orleans, is like, heck yeah, jazz is pretty, jazz in particular and classical. awesome music. So yeah, that's what I get into. Modern day, my guys, like I joke, it's like Dave, Bruce, and Billy, right? These old like 70-year-old dudes, Billy Joel, Bruce Springsteen, Dave Matthews, not quite that old, but those are the guys. The classic rock, the Stones, incredible. I think Lady Gaga, she is a sick musician, which she has coming out these days. And oh my God, Adele's music. Hey, so Adam, what I'd be curious to know, those who are on with us, what are you all listening to at home right now? What are, I see Gem, I see Bunk 32, the girls in Bunk 2, LGA 97. What are you listening to right now? Throw us a little comment in there. Nikki, what are you in? Jamie, what kind of music do you have going on right now that you are listening to that really seems to inspire you? Love to see some comments come through at the bottom. We'll shout that out. In the meantime, Adam, you were talking more about some West African drumming. What does that sound like?
Yeah, definitely. So, there's certain patterns, and the thing I love about it is the traditional drumming section is 5 instruments, and there's 2 djembes like this, and then you'll see when I come to camp, I bring bigger drums called dunduns, and they're like big bass drums, and there's a low, a medium, and a high that's used in the traditional African drumming ensemble. And Adam, you could almost think of this drumming as like the way you would watch an amazing group of a basketball team work together, because it's 5 players, and each player has their specific role, and their specific part, which interlocks. So like you talk about funk and how funk will interlock rhythms, right?
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that it's like, it could be the guitar part could be really simple, but it's got a groove, the bass part. So that all comes from West African drumming. All that whole concept comes. So one of the most basic parts they call like the passport rhythm, and this is just the accompanying rhythm. It sounds like this.
That's awesome. You get that visualization of the tribal
Yeah.
dancers out there going with the fire and the smoke and the sparks. It's pretty sweet.
And the thing is, even if there's not the fire and the smokes and the sparks, but you nailed it, because all the drumming accompanies a dance. It's one and the same. The dance and the drumming has to go together, right? So,
Yes.
And every rhythm has a purpose. It might be a celebration. It could be a wedding. It could be, an initiation. It could be a life cycle event. There's all different rhythms.
That's pretty cool, man. That's pretty.
Yeah.